Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear, and I am the Director of Operations and one of the Managing Directors for BNI Arizona. And I'm super excited that every single week I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday that counts as one chapter education unit for watching. So please make sure to log this chapter education unit, guys. We are kind of rounding out February. We're in the middle of the month, so we want to make sure we get all of our numbers in by the end of the month. As a reminder, please remember that for your chapter, so your chapter's numbers close on the last meeting of the month. So this is a great reminder, especially since we're halfway through. And it's a short month. We only have 28 days this month, so you want to make sure that you get it in on time. So for the calendar, it's really important. So next week is going to be the last week for any chapters that meet on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday to submit their numbers. Now, the chapters that meet on Tuesday, get lucky this month because the last day of the month falls on a Tuesday. So how the numbers are reported is they automatically stop. So like the end of the month automatically stops when your last meeting of the month ends. So I'm going to repeat that. The Palms numbers automatically stop no matter when the vice president submits the numbers. It's all based on the time of your meeting, guys. So, for example, if your chapter meets on a Thursday at 7 a.m., it's a 90-minute meeting, so your numbers would automatically stop at 8:30 on that last Thursday of the month. Automatically. If you submit numbers after the meeting ends, it automatically counts towards the next month. So it's super important that we make sure that when we're submitting all of our numbers by the end of the month to count for this month's Palms report and for the Power of One numbers, you want to make sure to get all of the information in before the last meeting of the month ends. Because it's all about timing and what the time of your chapter is listed in BNI Connect. It just automatically cuts it off. So I would recommend time blocking sometime the night before your last meeting of the month to ensure that you have all of your information in for that particular month, whether you have referrals that you forgot to submit or one-to-ones, or if you've watched so many Wisdom Wednesday videos and you forgot to log the chapter education units, make sure to log them, guys. I would do that all the time, is time block time, like 15 minutes, just to ensure that I had all of my information submitted before the end of the month. That way I got credit for that month. Same with thank you for closed business. So thank you for closed business is huge. That is the best way to say thank you to a member that has given you a referral. That is one of the areas and one of the reasons why it's not on the Power of One, because that piece of data is not controlled by the member specifically, because it's up to the member who received the business to submit that information for the member that gave you that referral. So we want to make sure that we're constantly logging that thank you for closed business, which leads me to my topic for today, which is thank you for closed business. So I had a request for a topic today around thank you for closed business, and some reminders when it comes to thank you for closed business. One of the things that we also want to make sure that we record when it comes to thank you for closed business is any business that we receive from past BNI members. That does count, guys. And the cool thing is it does count towards your chapter's numbers. So I received that question not too long ago, was what happens when I mark thank you for closed business to BNI or thank you for closed business to visitor in the drop-down menu? Does it count towards my chapter numbers? And the answer is yes, it sure does. So when you receive business from a past BNI member or you receive business from a visitor, when you go into the member drop-down menu, and at the very bottom of the drop-down menu, you will see those two options. One for BNI, which means past BNI members, Or the second one is thank you for visitor. So if a visitor attended your meeting and you received business from that visitor and they didn't become a member, we want to make sure to record all of that information. So make sure you choose those two options. Now, where it shows up on the Palms report is if you look at an actual full Palms report, at the very bottom, there's 2 rows, one for BNI and one for visitor. So anytime a member selects one of those 2 options, that information then goes in that BNI and visitor row on the Palms report. So it still counts towards your chapter numbers. I guarantee you guys that all of the thank you for closed business numbers would skyrocket if we remember to record all of the past BNI member thank you for closed business and thank you for closed business to visitors. You definitely want to make sure that that is getting logged. I would recommend that if you have a business that maybe has renewal business or reoccurring business, set a good time to look through your information, through your business transactions, and look to see which business that you should be logging towards a BNI member. So if you have a renewal business, let's say every year it comes up for renewal. Now, in the BNI Thank You for Closed Business details, it does state that if you have reoccurring billing or information that is renewals, to calculate it for the average life of the customer. Now, that could be difficult for some professions to really calculate what that life of a customer looks like. So I would recommend that if it's a monthly billing, you could either calculate it out to once a year, submit the annual amount, or if it's unknown, if you have a lot of people that maybe don't go to the end of the year, time block some time every month to then log the thank you for closed business on a monthly basis. It's really up to you and your business of what works best for you with logging that thank you for closed business. The biggest thing with all of it is just making sure it gets logged. So whether you do it annually or monthly, we just want to make sure that the members that are passing you that business is getting credit for that thank you for closed business. Just like I mentioned earlier, it's the best way to say thank you for receiving a referral is to thank them for that business, because then it tracks that information on the Palms report under their name, that's how much business that they gave to another member. It's all about giver's gain, and it really does help kind of calculate how much business is being passed between the members. So we want to make sure that we're always logging that recurring billing or the renewals for the current BNI members, the past BNI members, and the visitors. Like all 3 of those areas should be logged on a routine basis. So just depending on what works best for you and your business, if it's too inconsistent to really calculate out the life of the customer or an annual customer, then you can do it on a monthly basis. But I would just make sure that you're collecting all the data and submitting the information in BNI Connect, so that way that thank you for closed business number is just going to skyrocket. I guarantee you. Because our last calendar year, our members around the Valley passed over $107 million worth of business. I guarantee you that's on the low side, because I know that not everyone is submitting all of their thank you for closed business details. So if you're wondering what to submit for your thank you for closed business, if you find the last Power of One email, I did include a copy of the thank you for closed business details of what to include by the profession. Whether you are commission-based sales or a service provider or a product provider or an installer, there are special things for banking as well. So there are specific instructions of what to submit for thank you for closed business when it comes to banking. So make sure to look at that sheet. If you have lost that Power of One email, I sent it out to all members. So every single month I send out that Power of One email to all members in the beginning of the month. I will send it out again when the March Power of One report comes out. So I will include this thank you for closed business then as well. And I believe it's also in the uploaded documents on this Facebook page as well. So you can readily just go to the document section on this page and pull that thank you for closed business details. So that way you can ensure that you are reporting all of the thank you for closed business for the referrals that you are receiving from all of the members around town. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to Carolyn or myself. We are happy to help direct you in which way is best for you and your business. And make sure, guys, to record one Chapter Education Unit for watching today's Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you all next week. Have a great day.